they said, "Who did you vote for?" He said, "Nikki Haley." And they said, "Well, why?" He goes, "Because we don't need Trump to be the nominee." And they said, "Okay, well, what's your party affiliation?" "Democrat." And he said, and they
Yeah,
said,
he
"Are
doesn't
you?"
want
"Oh,
Trump to run against Biden.
right." And then they said, "Well, are you going to vote for Nikki in the general?" He goes, "Of course not. I'm voting for Biden."
Hello, welcome to Texas Tough Chicks. We're glad you're here with us. If you're here for your first time, welcome. And if you're coming back for your poison, we're so glad to have you back. We're going to do today, we're going to do a little weekend review because we are really finding that there's so many things during the week that we want to discuss, and it's hard to narrow it down to just one or two subjects. And so we're going to cover a few things. And I'm going to start off with a little countdown that we'll keep of Ukraine totals as we go along so everyone can be aware, because I don't think a lot of Americans know
Mm,
how much taxpayers are paying for the Ukrainian war.
right.
No matter where you stand on that, there's just no sense to the amount of money that we're sending them.
No.
And yeah, do I want Russia to take them over? Absolutely not. But do
No.
I want my grandkids to pay for their war for decades? No, I do not want that either. And there is an element to this that I believe is hush money. Hush money
Absolutely.
of the dealing that the Biden family has had with Ukraine. And
Yep.
so there's, to me, I don't understand this constant asking of money to send. And Biden just recently asked for $61 billion in
Yep.
addition to the 113 as of June 2023. So we don't even know since June of 2023 how much more has been given towards that war. And then Biden has the nerve to come to Congress or whoever he asked for this money. I'm not really sure how that works. And ask for 61 billion additional dollars, your tax-paying money for this war.
Okay. My point was the elites met in Davos like last week, and Zelensky was there. So you explain to me how, if you are the president of a country that's in a hot war, you have time to go off and rub elbows with the elites. I call BS on that. And then
Right.
how was it that Biden was able to go there as the president of the United States, go to Ukraine and tootle around, and all the bomb noises in the background and stuff? It's like BS. You don't send the president of the United States into a hot war. So I just think I'm sure the people are suffering. It's always the Ukrainian people who don't want anything to do with this war, the Russian people that don't want anything to do with this war,
Mhm.
the elites that are moving the little pawn pieces around. But Zelensky is not a good guy. He's
Well, and
not.
how do we know where is the accountability for the money? Because how do we
There
know that
is none.
Zelensky doesn't have this huge count? I heard he has a crazy
75
large yacht
million.
that he has. Okay,
75
sorry.
million.
I mean, he was a really bad comedian before he
Mm-hmm.
was the president of that
Yep.
country.
Yep.
I don't think he was a multi-million or billionaire before this. So is he profiting from this? Are his
Oh,
people
absolutely.
suffering because of this? And
Yes.
we, as taxpayers in America, we're paying for that. And
Right.
why are we paying for that? Why is our president so vested in this? It
Right.
doesn't make sense because what do we benefit? Okay, besides Russia gaining ground if they win. But what do
Mm-hmm.
we benefit for helping them on this level? I just don't understand why our president is so vested in this. And so it makes me think, because of their dealings, that there's something that Ukraine and this
Yep.
President Zelensky has that he can say, well, okay, you're not going to pay me, but then
Mm-hmm.
this is going to be given to the press, all of this information about your family.
Right.
Maybe not. I don't have any inside
Oh,
information
there's
on
got to
that.
be.
So yeah, and here's the great thing. Here's the perfect thing. The Pentagon 2 days ago, according to ABC and American Press, so AP, they both reported that the Pentagon has said there's no more funds available for the Ukraine war. So we'll see how it
Wow.
plays out. And in relationship to like the Israeli war, we have a vested interest. There's something that we benefit from. They're the only ally we have in the Middle East.
Yes.
They're the only ones that the citizens haven't come out and said they want to kill us. They're the
Right.
only ones. So in fact, they not only don't do that, they say they love America. So
Right. Right.
there's a vested interest, and we've only given them what I could find was $3.3 billion at the very beginning, the week after October 12th. We gave them 3.3 billion to help them with this war. And I'm telling you, one of the reasons why we need to help them is because guess where Hamas is coming next?
Yep.
If you haven't seen it, there's a viral video going on the internet right now. I think it's YouTube, where a gentleman is either starting to cross the border or some citizen walks up to him and says, you know, who are you? What's your name? And
Oh, it
he's,
was Border Patrol walked up to him.
was it? Okay.
It was
And
Border
it
Patrol.
was Border Patrol. Oh, wow. And
Yep.
so this gentleman who, you know, you can't tell by looking at him who he doesn't look like he's come from Mexico, but you know, you can't tell by looking at him, you know, pretty clean cut or whatever. He says, "You're too stupid to know who I am." He says, "You're too stupid, but you will know who I am." And he has a very thick Middle Eastern accent.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, if you're coming over to better your life,
Mhm.
if that's the reason why you're coming over, why would you make a threat to the Border Patrol? Why would you
Right.
make a threat like that? That doesn't sound like someone who's just coming over here to better his life.
Yep.
I'm thinking we've got to support anyone who's going to come against the terrorists because the
Right.
terrorists are coming over here next. If they
Yep.
already
They're
are
already here. They're already here. They're already here. They're
already
already here.
here. And I just want to point out, and I'm going to try and do this every week if I can remember to do it. We have 8 American hostages that have been hostages for 111 days. When have
Mhm.
we ever had 8 American hostages that we have made zero effort? When have we ever not had the Red Cross visit our hostages, made zero effort
Yep.
towards
Yep.
getting them back? There's been nothing from our own government that said, hey, we've got 8 American hostages. We need to find out where they're at. We need to make sure the Red Cross gets to them. And the Red Cross, they're just useless. Don't give money to the Red Cross. They have
Uh-uh.
shown themselves, they've shown their true colors here.
Yep. They have.
And if you think they're going to be all pro-American when it happens to us, it's not going to happen.
Nope.
Um,
Nope.
so,
No.
you know, and here we've got our own border. They're coming across
Right.
our own border, you know, and
Yep.
I'm just
Yep.
like, we need to start looking at what's happening on our own border. And thank God Governor Abbott has stepped up and someone just read on, I think it was Glenn Beck, I'm pretty sure, read the letter that Abbott sent to the
Oh, I
president
heard that. It was excellent.
and stating how we have constitutional right as a state
Mhm.
to protect our own borders.
To the Abbott letter, apparently there's I think 14 other states that are backing that letter, saying yes, it you know is affecting the whole country. So we need to protect everybody's borders. But Texas, we're going to go behind you. On the radio today, I was listening to, and they're talking about the Constitution
Woo!
that, and I want to read this to you. It's Article 1, Section 4. Wait, no, Article 4, Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion and against domestic violence. So that's what Abbott is saying is the federal government is not protecting the state of Texas. Therefore, we have a right to protect our own state. Because I know that the libtards on the media are talking about, oh, these people are drowning and Texas is forcing them to drown. No, we're keeping them out of dangerous areas by putting this concertina wire up and putting up the floating barges and stuff like that. For the federal government to come in and cut that wire
I know.
is just what I mean.
What is going
We
through their heads? Like,
that's
how corrupt would you have to be as a federal border agent, whatever they called them? How corrupt would you have to be? Are they being paid? That's what goes through my head. I don't know that. I don't have any evidence of that, but are they being paid? Because how corrupt would you have to be?
well. Here's one for you. Back to the federal agents, the federal border control coming in and cutting stuff. Biden says, or the Biden administration says, they want to federalize the Texas National Guard. In other words, they want to take over the state of Texas.
Unconstitutional.
It's not constitutional. It's not constitutional.
Unconstitutional.
So
Mm-mm.
again, it's
Yep.
like anybody who has half a brain and actually understands our Constitution, how do you sit there and say that Biden has the interest of anybody in this country?
That's why the Democrats are so hell-bent on destroying our country,
Right.
because they want those votes so desperately. They're willing to let in Hamas. They're willing to let in ISIS. They're willing to let in any terrorists from any country.
China.
They're willing to let in Chinese men, young men, into our country because they want votes. They're willing to destroy our country over that.
Yeah.
Let that sink in.
What I would like to do is to go over talking about the border and all the stuff that's happening in stateswide. I think it was Beck's show I was listening to the other day, but I'll call these immigration disasters.
Oh,
there was a woman in rural Nebraska who has to travel, I don't know how many miles to get to the nearest grocery store. She said that she does not shop at all anymore because over the last year, there have been young men, and not shopping. They're just kind of wandering around Walmart where she goes. They have followed her around the store. They have followed her to her car in the parking lot.
oh my.
And she said her husband is of European descent and speaks several languages. She said she does not recognize the language that these people are speaking. And she said that she can't go shopping anymore. She sends her husband. Then there was another one who called in from Maine. This guy was from Maine. And he called in and he said that he's aware of 300 row houses in the state that are owned by the Chinese and run by Chinese.
Wow.
And he said these are not shacks. He says these are $300,000 to $400,000 homes that are being used to just be greenhouses for marijuana production. And he said that he has a friend who works for the electric company, and he goes, those houses are running $30,000 a month electric bills. So explain to me how somebody is not screaming and shutting this stuff down. Here's one more. In-N-Out Burger has been in California for 75 years.
Mm-hmm.
The store in Oakland, California has been open for 25. They are closing that store because they cannot protect their employees or their customers anymore from all of the illegals that are accosting them in the parking lot. Well, hey, that takes us right back to another subject I wanted to cover was the whole the Iowa caucus and the Hampshire caucus. Nikki Haley needs to get out. She just needs to get out.
She does.
She is not the person we need at all. They interviewed a guy and they said, who did you vote for? And he said, Nikki Haley. And they said, well, why? He goes, because we don't need Trump to be the nominee. And they said, okay, well, what's your party affiliation? Democrat. And he said, and they said,
he doesn't want Trump to run against Biden.
Right. And then they said, well, are you going to vote for Nikki in the general? He goes, of course not. I'm voting for Biden.
The primaries for the party to pick their candidate to go to general.
Yes. Here's a little interesting question that somebody, I think it was a local guy on the radio, asked the other day. He said, considering that Texas used to be its own republic and we joined the Union, they would say, knowing what we do now about the state of the Union, would Texas choose to join the Union? And I would say,
no. Oh yeah, I just saw a new report of it's like gaining popularity.
Texas. Yes.
Yeah. I said I'm all in on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we really, really need people to get Texas tough. Right. We are heading headstrong into a storm right now. The storm is called our American election. And DeSantis, I have a lot of respect for him.
I love him as governor.
Saw the writing on the wall. And you know what? With even all of his differences with Trump, he knew who to stand behind, who was truly going to make a difference. And he made the right choice. And he, put his support behind Trump.
Yep.
And we just need people to get informed.
Right.
Putting up with all this BS that these young people are trying to shove down our throats. Just start
Mhm.
saying no, saying and being vocal about it, not violent about it, vocal, not
Right,
violent, right?
right,
There needs to be a toughening of us. We need to
right,
get Texas toughness into us.
right.
And I go crazy with this, me and you.
Oh, well, I'm so glad we got back together because I was about to blow
Oh,
up.
I
I thought if
know,
I
right?
can't vent with
Oh my
Gwen, I don't
God.
know, I'm gonna die here. So
Right? So
yeah,
true.
yeah.
But we want everyone out there, get informed and get Texas tough, and we'll see you next time.
Bet. Bye. Oh, let's don't talk about that. I just get so upset. And I'm
It
going, you're
hurts.
gonna be real upset when your country's gone to hell, man.